All right, staying with madness in the public school system, CBS News reports on efforts to make math more equitable. Let's watch this.
Pittsburgh Public Schools hiring a consultant to teach a new method of instructing kids.
It's intended to be anti-racist, and what some find curious is that the subject involved is math. KDK lead investigator Andy Sheehan talked with the district leader who recommended it.
No matter how math is taught, 1 + 1 will always equal 2. But Pittsburgh Public Schools is now offering what it calls an anti-racist approach, saying it is trying to address racial inequity in math classes.
We think of math as, addition, subtraction, multiplication, sort of an objective reality. How can math be racist?
We're talking about really a mindset, and it's an approach. So whether we use the term anti-racist or we talk about racial equity, it's the same.
Last week, the school board approved a $50,000 contract to the consulting group Equitable to provide workshops for district math teachers to more fully engage students of color in learning math and hopefully improve performance. According to the most recent test scores, 11.6% of the district's African-American grade students scored proficient in math, compared to 47.5% of white students. The district has long sought to close that gap and says it will now be taking this approach.
It's one thing to say that, African American students in the district are underperforming. It's another thing to say that the instruction by math teachers is racist.
We don't use any language to call any approach racist, but what we do is we talk about approaches that are anti-racist.
Okay, pause there for a second. So you notice with these, they can just never answer anything directly. On the left, no, it's not just what is a woman or what is a man, as we discovered with our friend Jack Brewster. It's any question at all, any question relating to their any item on their agenda. They can never answer it directly, never answer a direct question. They refuse to answer direct questions. And it's not because they don't have an answer in mind. It's not because they don't know the answer. It's because they realize that fundamentally their agenda is absurd and insane and extreme. And so they can't answer it directly. So clearly what the whole idea here is that math education is racist, and so it needs to be anti-racist. And then when he's asked directly, well, how exactly could math education be racist? Well, we're not saying it's racist, but we're saying it should be anti-racist. Well, first of all, it is kind of what but earlier in the discussion, he did indicate that it's racist, and now he's saying it's not racist, but it needs to be anti-racist. So, but what's the opposite of anti-racist? So it's not right now it is not anti-racist. So if it's not anti-racist, does that mean that it's racist? Just explain it in more detail. And he can't do that. Let's keep watching a little bit of this.
To Assistant Superintendent Dr. Sean McNeil, this means addressing historic inequities in educating students by exposing them to black professionals in STEM fields to tell students of the African American legacy in mathematics, emphasizing its practical applications in a hands-on, welcoming way. And McNeil says the emphasis is on concepts and reasoning rather than putting importance on getting the answer right.
Is this not sort of dumbing down the math curriculum to say, hey, All
right. Every time I see stories like this, I have a few reactions. I mean, my first reaction is that this is crazy. But then I always have, I'll admit, a little tinge of envy that I feel with every time I hear about something like this. A little tinge of envy that they didn't have policies like this in place when I was in school. I would have loved if when I was taking math classes and performing very poorly in them, I would have loved if they had a policy that, we're not really emphasizing getting the answer right. I would have really appreciated that when I was in school, 25 years ago. I could have really used that instead of, it would have helped, who knows where I'd be today. I mean, it would have helped my self-esteem tremendously rather than getting all those D's and E's on math, on math tests. If they could have said, look, you didn't get it. Yeah, there were 50 questions on this math test. You got precisely none of them correct. But we're not, this is not about getting them right or wrong. That's not what this is about. Grand Canyon University is an affordable private Christian university based in Phoenix, Arizona. They're dedicated to making education fit into your already busy schedule, which is why they offer 270 of their academic programs online. From scholarships to academic support, GCU's graduation team provides you with the personal support you need to obtain your goals. GCU's online programs offer you the freedom to earn your degree on your own time from wherever you are. GCU is praised for its culture of community giving and impact. They integrate the free market system and a welcoming Christian worldview into all of their academic programs. Achieve your goals with a personalized plan and supportive team behind you. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu. That's gcu.edu. Since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, the left has lost their minds. Leftism is their religion and abortion is their official sacrament. Meanwhile, pro-life efforts, which are now more important than ever, are booming. Despite the narrative, pro-lifers haven't gone away. In fact, they're getting more and more active. As one of the largest pro-life organizations in the world, no one's in a better position than 40 Days for Life to end abortion state by state. They've opened a record number of locations since Roe was overturned, and they continue to grow in volunteers. They now have 1 million volunteers in 1,500 cities. 40 Days for Life holds peaceful vigils outside abortion facilities in an effort to change hearts and minds in the most blue pro-abortion states. You can help 40 Days for Life fight ongoing legal battles to protect free speech for their volunteers by giving a tax-deductible gift of any amount at 40daysforlife.com. That's 40daysforlife.com. At the very least, I wish I'd thought of this myself as an excuse that I could have presented to my own parents when I came home with the report card and said, look, I don't want you to think too much about whether the answers are right or wrong. It's not about right or wrong. You know, it's not about grades, mom and dad. It's about a journey. That's what it is. I'm on the educational journey and I feel good about it. I don't know if that would have resonated with them. But what you have to, the real point with this is that, aside from just mocking it, as we should, that mathematics is sort of like the last stronghold. If they can do this with math, then they can do it with anything. If you could take mathematics and start claiming that it's racist and that we have to fundamentally change our approach to it, we have to make, if we are at the point of making math equitable, then that's it. That's the last one. Like that mathematics, you would think, is as objective of a subject as there can possibly be. Like 2 + 2 = 4. It just does. There's no way around it. And yet, even with mathematics now, they're doing it. Because ultimately, we understand that this is more than anything a war on truth. A war on objective truth, and that includes 2 + 2 = 4. Thanks for checking out this video. If you'd like to listen to my full podcast on the go, you can check out The Matt Walsh Show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.